Good evening. This is the start of the new budget year. If you please turn to the revenue and expenditure page of the financial report, you'll see that we have approximately $5.6 million of local revenues in the month of July. The majority of this is our taxes that were billed in July and being paid in the discount period, approximately $4.5 million. We also received approximately $881,000 in the month of July for earned income taxes. Another highlight is that you will see there is no subsidy from the state, and that is, of course, due to the budget impasse. Although I do want to point out that we will be receiving our tax relief payment this Thursday, as well as rental reimbursements that apply to the 2008-2009 school year. For expenditures, as in most months, salaries and benefits are the largest portion. However, you'll see that compared to a normal month during the school year, they're much lower, and that is because at this time of the year we are only paying our 12-month employees. We also had a debt service payment in the month of July. Following these reports are the budget transfers and the bill lists, and that concludes my report.
Chair would accept the motion in a second. Mr. Chuchanek moves. Mrs. Simmons seconds. Comments and questions? Mr. Chuchanek.
What would an evening be without budget fund transfers? On page BT 7-04, we have an amount of $50,000. It says current instruction books we transferred into supplies. Is that money specifically, was that specifically for books? And we're now moving it into other areas? It says elementary items classified as kits.
The money was originally budgeted under books, but because of the, I think it's the new science kits, we had to transfer the funds from the book account into the supply.
Into supply, $50,000.
Correct.
Okay, on page BT 0705, in the amount of $1,500, we have from school-wide instruction down to, it says grade 4 books and periodicals. Okay, and I would ask, it's $1,500, and I would ask that you keep books and periodicals in mind, because going back further now into the list of bills for July, we have, again, an inordinate number of items here listed for books and periodicals. There's one here for $307.20. There's one here for $48,023.64. They're all listed as books and periodicals. There's one here for $5,908.57. There's one here for $432.25. There's one here for $106.65. These are all listed for books and periodicals. There's one here for $8,281.59. There's one here for $6,073.01. There's one here for $5,759.60. Another one here for $5,701.50, and the last one for $1,290 even. What, do we have two accounts now for books and periodicals? Because going back here again, we list books and periodicals, and we're paying out of this fund for books and periodicals.
Well, Mr. Chuchanek, we have addressed this numerous times. We have many accounts for books and periodicals. We have to, the way the school code is set. If we have books and periodicals that are for science, it's a different number than it is for math, than it is for English, and it's different by building. So we may have books that we're buying at Junior High East that are science. That's a different number than it would be if we were buying books for Junior High West in science. We have to track that. So these are all books that the board has approved through the budget process. And yes, there are transfers to cover those, but there are things that we've talked about, and the way the state does their budgeting, we have to make those transfers to match so that when we're audited, the audits are clear. So that's what the nature of the transfers are for.
What do you classify as periodicals? Is that magazines, generally?
That would be magazines, newspaper subscriptions, weekly readers, things of that sort.
Well, again, as I said, it seems like an inordinate number of books and periodicals. Another item here, check number 42726, it says Berks Montgomery Municipal, it says water and sewer. Berks Montgomery Municipal, the sewer authority, does not provide water. Why is that listed as water and sewer? $5,468. Birchmont Municipal Authority is just, sewer treatment. It's listed as water and sewer.
That is an object, one object, and an object tells what we buy, and there is not currently a separate object for water and a separate one for sewer. They're in the same object.
Would you pay that with 2 checks or a single check?
Well, we can put as many different things on one check as there are to that vendor.
But I'm saying there's two separate distinct vendors. The water company is not the same as the municipal authority, Birchmont.
And if we're paying one vendor for water, we would use the object for water and sewer, and then the other vendor for sewer, we would pay the same object, water and sewer.
Okay. Out of the same basic account you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? At this point, I'd also like to advise the board members that we are doing transfers regarding the first 3 months of the budget process. So in order for this motion to pass as presented, we would need the affirmative 6 votes needed for not only the approval of the transfers, but also the approval of the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Hartford?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Mr. Roth?
Yes.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Turchanek?
Yes.
Mrs. Deeroff?
No.
Mrs. Curry?
No.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
6-2.
Motion carries.